Ohio Republican Congressman Mike Carey, he voted for Kevin McCarthy to become Speaker all 15 times. Hi, Congressman. Nice to have you on the show. So I know you and your colleagues have a full agenda starting tomorrow. Hopefully you've been able to rest up since that late night vote Friday. But first I have to ask you about that wild scene then on Friday night. What did you think being in that chamber as Congressman Mike Rogers went storming after Congressman Matt Gaetz after the 14th vote?
You know, where Mike went up to Matt was completely on the other side of the House. I was sitting with the Ohio and the Michigan, and believe me, Ohio and Michigan actually do sit together on the floor of the House. But I was sitting with them on the other side. There was a little bit of loud voices, but there was no altercation. So I agree with what other people have been saying. Let's let bygones be bygones, and let's get this rule package forward. Again, there have been many concessions made. There were many concessions made before we entered the voting for the Speaker. So I think we're going to have a good rules package. We'll get it over the hump, and we can get to the business of the American public.
And you mentioned the concessions. Let's show our viewers the key areas where Speaker McCarthy made concessions to win. They include requiring only one vote to oust the Speaker and just 72 hours to review bills before they come to the floor. Is the Speaker in a weakened state going into this job? Did he give away the store to get the job?
Oh, absolutely not. I think what you got to remember is that this motion to vacate the chair with only having one member doing this, that's what we had for many, many years. This just changed rather recently. What the Republican conference agreed to was we wanted a majority. Then in the negotiations before the vote for the Speaker, we went to 5, and then the group of 20 wanted 1. It doesn't change anything. And honestly, I think when you saw us at the last vote, it took a little longer than I think some of us wanted. But listen, I think the Speaker McCarthy is stronger than he ever has been. He's been very clear. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And believe me, I think he's going to come into this in a very strong position.
If it wasn't such a big deal to go down to 1, then do you think that Kevin McCarthy should have done that earlier rather than let this draw out for 4 days, the first time since the mid-1800s since that happened for the Speaker?
I think, but the thing was, we thought that the 5, because the concessions were made to go from majority, which is what our conference wanted, to 5, which is we thought that the group of 20 wanted. So, I mean, if that would have been something that could have got it done earlier, yeah, probably should have done it then. But that wasn't part of the issues. I think there were so many different issues that were being floated around. So I think, listen, I think we're in a good place. We just got to get this rule package. We got to select our chairman, and then we got to go about getting the commitment of America done and moving our agenda forward.
And how do you expect it to play out with the rules package? How do you expect this next week to play out after what we saw this past week?
Yeah, well, listen, I think that we're going to be in a very good place. I think we'll get back tomorrow. We'll start going over all the details in the rule package. And most of us, I think, understand that the rule package has been something that's been developed for quite some time. So I don't think we'll have as much difficulty as you saw last week, because I think most of us have buy-in to that. So my hope is we'll get this through in short order.
Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrats' new House leader, said this today when asked about working with your party.
We look forward to trying to find some reasonable Republicans who are willing to break from the extreme elements of their conference to do the business of the American people.
So what is your reaction to that?
Listen, I think if you look at and I've only been here a year, and I understand that, but just in the first year time, I've been able to partner with the opposing party to get legislation passed. And I have a very good working relationship with the members here in Ohio. And I think we'll find a lot of common ground. And I think if you look at the framework, which is the commitment to America, it's a lot different than the contract. The contract was very specific. But I think if you look at the framework by which what the commitment to America is designed, I think there's going to be a lot of things that will be able to reach out to Democrats and Republicans and really move this agenda forward. But I was glad to hear him say that.
Okay. You know, this past week, we did learn a lot. Also, you know, seeing the former President Trump help seal the deal for McCarthy. In your view, does he lead the Republican Party in 2023?
Well, listen, I think if you're looking at the House, I think the leader of the House is going to be Speaker Kevin McCarthy. And I think if you're looking at the president, I endorsed President Trump for his next run for president. So I think he plays a major role in Republican politics. There's no doubt about that. But I think as far as the politics of the House, I think that's going to be Speaker McCarthy.
All right, Congressman Mike Carey, thanks for coming on the show.
Great to be with you.